What up, motherfuckers? The hater is back from his New York City trip. And last night, that's right, Cucks, last night I was able to watch AEW Revolution. So here is my review of AEW Revolution. Now, as usual, before we start this shit, it's been a couple of days since my last video, and we've gotten a few subscribers. And a few of them have shown up in my emails as people that I can read that are now my subscribers, been this bitch. So amongst them, we have good old TBW Inc. or perhaps TB Wink, or maybe Twink Boy. He's a new subscriber. We have 00, which is spelled XERO space ZERO. Welcome, 00. And of course, we got my boy Raymond Turner. Raymond Turner. What's up, Raymond Turner? We got a few more, but they don't appear in my subscriber list, unfortunately. I know one of them wrote, what did he do? He wrote like, oh, I'm a new subscriber, bro. But I didn't make a note of it in myself because I looked at it in my phone by accident. So let's see if we can find it real fast. Oh, there it is. Salman Abdirahman. Salman Abdirahman. What up, Salman? He says, I subscribe, bro. Keep it up. One of the most underrated channels of all time. Thank you, Salman. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I appreciate that, bro. Don't worry. We're going to keep growing. We're only I keep telling people, we're underrated. The friendship, which is what I call my fans now, the friends, we're underrated because we're new. We're new to this war, motherfucks. But don't worry. I will keep growing for us all. You know what I mean? Like I said in another video, we have these motherfucks, they have these like it's not hard to get 20,000 subscribers. You can go online and probably pay someone to do it for you, right? But then you have 20,000 subscribers and you have like 200 views per video. I'm growing completely organically. None of my friends know about this channel. You know what I mean? I don't want anyone to subscribe to me, right? Because like they like me in real life or because I'm a person, I want people to subscribe to me if they like what I'm doing, right? So that's why it seems like we're growing slow, but we're growing organically, right? As you can see, I have right now 405 subscribers, but my videos consistently get more than that, right? When you have like 2,000 subscribers and your videos are getting 400 views, right? That means one of two things. Sub-bod, or more likely than not, you're just boring as fuck and you've grown in ways that are not organic. You've try to put yourself over. You've done these things, right? But people that don't like you have subscribed because of some weird incentive. You know what I mean? But for me, my subscribers are my friends, my advice. The friendship keeps growing, Salman. So, but thank you. I appreciate that comment, Salman. Underrated for now. We're coming up there. Cooks. But anyways, now let's get to the show. Apparently I didn't watch the whole show, it turns out, because I missed the buy-in, motherfucks. The buy-in, which is essentially what's it called, like the pre-show for AEW. You know what I mean? That's fine by me. I missed it. It is what it is. I don't really care. So but I did read about one of the matches, which was, what's it called, SCU versus Dark Order, motherfucks, or as I like to call them, the Short Order, because they suck, motherfuckers. The Short Order versus the Cali Jobbers. They had a match, apparently. It would appear that the actual, focus of this match, the actual point here was that they teased, apparently, that Daniels is not the Exalted One. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not. It just means that day, they didn't reveal him to be the Exalted One. I still think it's him. Now, here's the problem with this match, right? This match is actually, there's actually some hype behind it, right? There's some hype. I don't know why, but there is some hype behind the Dark Order, right? So this match being on the pre-show, to me, makes absolutely no sense. I understand that they think that people like Goldust and Jack Swagger are big stars, even though they're obviously not, right? But let's be real, motherfuckers. That should have been a pre-show match. And coincidentally, that's the first match on the main show. But before we start talking about the actual match, the main show started with some broad singing the national anthem. This was by far the worst rendition of the national anthem that I've seen in my life. Cucks, all right? She was horrible. She was one of the worst singers I've ever seen ever. I mean, by far the worst singer I've ever seen on TV. But this woman, I cannot even stress how horrible this was. It was garbage. Now, anyways, the match starts. First out, we got Jack Swagger. He comes out to some shitty hip-hop music. This is just ridiculous. It doesn't fit him at all. Like, it's like they haven't even started thinking about what his character is going to be, you know? Like, hip-hop music doesn't fit Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger is the all-American American. He needs, like, you know, like, the kind of songs that he had in WWE, like, you know, 100% American, like, fucking, like, straight shit, like, you know, patriotic type things, like, you know, like, with drums, like, dun, 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 like, that kind of shit. Or, at the very least, something, like, from Oklahoma, something that has to do with Oklahoma. What the fuck? Rap music? You know? The Big Hurt? But anyways, the song was, even if, like, there's something wrong with the rap music, I actually love rap music, but it's like, it wasn't even good rap. If it was good rap, you could, like, you know, be like, all right, cool, I get it, you know, that's what you're trying to do with him, do it. But no, it was garbage. So then, he comes out and kisses his wife, who's in attendance. I also didn't like this. It's not consistent, the same way that the rap music is not consistent with his character, neither is kissing his wife. His wife shouldn't be there. That's weird, man. Why does the Big Hurt, right, this silent retard, have a wife? He shouldn't. But anyways, kisses his wife. Later on in the match, Goldust goes and forcibly kisses Jack Swagger's wife. Now, as far as I saw, she didn't do anything to Goldust. So why is Goldust attacking her? You know, what did she do to him? It was a very heelish thing that Goldust did, even though he's the face. And a lot of people might be thinking to themselves, like, oh, well, you know, what's it called? Jericho did it to Stephanie McMahon. Yeah, but back in the day, Stephanie McMahon was like a heel character on TV, and she would consistently screw and undermine Jericho. You know what I mean? So that made a lot of sense. But this was more like when Randy Orton kissed, what's it called? Beth Phoenix? Not Beth Phoenix. That's going to happen tonight, motherfuckers. When Randy Orton kissed Stephanie McMahon after beating up Triple H, right? It was like, it was vile. Like, and it was great. It was a great moment. This also was kind of vile because it's like she didn't do anything, you know? But it is what it is. Like, just like the level of the match doesn't warrant caring enough, caring enough about it. You know what I mean? Like, the level of the match was pretty shitty. Like, the match in itself wasn't good. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't good. And in my opinion, it was a horrible opening match. You know, you have to get me hyped up for this event. You know, it wasn't a good opener, not at all, right? And also, it made me think to myself, man, 5 years ago or so, what was it, WrestleMania 29? 6 years ago? I don't even know, right? A few years ago, 2014, I guess, maybe 13. I don't know, who cares, right? I went to WrestleMania in New Jersey, and Jack Swagger was wrestling Del Rio for the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. At that time, Goldust, I think, was either fired, maybe he was in like ROH, I know he was in the Indies, maybe he was in TNA, or maybe he was back in WWE. But if he was back in WWE, he was a extravagant jobber. You know, like this guy wouldn't even make it in the pre-show. And now, years later, they're on the same spot. Swagger and Goldust, same spot, same match, motherfuckers. Bullshit match. It made me like cry a little bit inside for Jack Swagger's career, motherfucker. But then again, I realized I don't give a rat's ass about Swagger. So the match ended when Swagger hit a low blow and put an arm triangle on Goldust, making him pass out, and he won the match. Great. The implications of this are zero. No one cares that he won. No one benefits from the fact that Swagger won. Not even Swagger himself. This is just like a failed experiment, you know? Like, you don't need Swagger. Like, just give yourself Jeff Cobb. But by the way, what the fuck happened to Jeff Cobb? He came in for a match, lost, and left. What a loser. But anyways, it is what it is. Not a good opener. Not a good start to the pay-per-view, cucks. So, yeah. Next up, we had Darby Allen versus Guevara. At this point, I went to the bathroom and took a piss. When I came back, this match, I think, was nearly over. They had the spots you would expect. It wasn't anything interesting. It wasn't a great match. The problem with this match is that, like, even though it has a storyline, the storyline is shallow. It's just a shallow storyline. It's like, it's you attacked me, now I'm attacking you storyline. You know, that's not good. That's garbage. So, there you have it, cucks. That's what happened with that. I mean, eventually Darby Allin, I think, hit the coffin drop and won. And he was going to attack Sammy Guevara with the skateboard, but Jack Swagger came to save the day. Now, if it were me and I were Jack Swagger, I'd go in the ring and just beat the shit out of Darby Allin, who's about 5'3", you know, because I'm a heel. But he didn't do that. He, like, picked up Sammy Guevara and they, like, retreated, like, walking backwards, you know, being like, oh, we'll get you next time, Darby Allin. I'll get you. Oh, you'll pay for this, Captain Planet. Anyways, whatever, you know. Next up, we had, in my opinion, the best match of the night. Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus the Young Cucks. Now, that's weird, right? Me saying it's the best match of the night, that's weird, but I'll explain myself, I'll explain myself. First of all, before the match started, Tony Schiavone, during the tail of the tape, he referred to their finishing move, to the Adam Page, Kenny Omega finishing move, as the V-Shot. It's apparently called the Buckshot V-Trigger, just a combination of the two moves. But I think the V-Shot is a much better name, but that's neither here nor there. It just goes to show that Tony Schiavone doesn't even care enough to read what's on a screen in front of him. Like, nobody cares about this company, man. But before the match started, I was hoping that Hangman Page came off looking strong. I'm actually digging Hangman Page now. He's probably my favorite guy in AEW right now because he actually has a gimmick, The gimmick is that he's a high-functioning alcoholic, right? So, the last alcoholic character I can think of was Spike Dudley back in the day in TNA when he would dress like Santa. He had like a bad Santa gimmick, right? And that was great. I mean, it wasn't great. It was great because Spike Dudley was getting a gimmick. But he was just getting drunk and, letting himself go, basically, but still wrestling, but getting his ass whooped. Adam Page is like the kind of alcoholic who drinks a lot, but still functions very well. He's still doing very well. A lot of times with these, drugged up characters like Festus, the implications are if Festus didn't do the drugs, he would be Luke Gallows and he'd be better, right? Obviously, that's not true. Festus is better than Luke Gallows, but you understand what I'm saying, right? In this case, it's not drinking might not make him better. You know what I mean? He's good. Adam Page is good. So I was really hoping that they would continue pushing him as being strong. The match started. The actual match itself wasn't that great. It was my favorite match of the night, but not because of the actual match. I don't care about the match. I'm not a mark. You know what I'm saying? But typical shit. Kenny Omega did about 19 to 27 taunts. And what's it called? Jeff Hardy, Young Buck. I'm going to call him receding hair. Receding hairline, Buck. That guy, he's wearing the headband like Shawn Michaels. It's embarrassing. This whole I'm going to wear a headband to hide my bald spot trick is stupid. It's just dumb, man. Just embrace the bald spot, or in my opinion, shave your head. Now, the hater's hair is a little bit long. I haven't cut my hair for almost a year now on purpose, right? And even before then, the top was pretty long. You know what I mean? So now my hair is enough where I can make a small ponytail, right? I've never really had hair this long, but I figured I'd try it once, before I cut it for sure. But in college, one day I shaved my head bald. And I did this because I was curious to see what it would look like bald, And I actually liked the way it looked. I have no problem being bald. I have no problem having a buzz cut, And the reason I did that is because I know that one day eventually I'm probably gonna go bald, right? When I'm older, hopefully not as soon as whatever Jackson Buck Jeff Hardy type, that guy, not as soon as that guy's doing it, but you know what I mean? I experimented with it and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I can live like that. I can live with being bald, That's what this guy should do. But anyways, there were a few good spots, I will say. One of my favorite spots was Matt Hardy, Young Buck. He does what's it called? Northern Lights suplex. That's 3 of them to the outside, right? Then he picks up Adam Page and puts him in the tombstone, and they hit an indie taker to the outside. Now, when I said to the outside, the ramp was on level with the ring, and it was probably easier to take it there than it was taking it to the ring, honestly. Just the way that the noise that the ramp made when people landed on it, it didn't seem like it was this big, dangerous ramp. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. The spot was cool. Then in the match, right, while he's doing his taunts, Kenny Omega eventually hits all this guy does is taunts and V-triggers. That's all he does, man. And he'll do the Katara Crusher once or twice, a few what's it called, Snapdragons, and that's it, man. And then he'll do his finisher. This guy literally has 4 or 5 moves. People think he's the best wrestler in the world. It's ridiculous. But anyways, so yeah, he hit a million V-triggers. He went for the one-winged angel. For some reason, even though he had been kneed in the face 15, 20 times, Matt Hardy, Young Buck, escapes, right? And I think Jeff Hardy, Young Buck, kicks Kenny Omega in the face. Adam Page comes back, right? Attacks them both, hits the one-winged angel on Matt Hardy, Young Buck, throws Jeff Hardy, Young Buck to the outside on the ramp, does a buckshot lariat to him, comes back, does a buckshot lariat to Matt Hardy Young Buck and pins him 1, 2, 3. Right? In other words, Hangman Page once again wins the match by himself. Right? That was cool. I liked how that happened. Right? After the match, the Young Bucks, they refused to give these people even a fucking moment, man. Like, I know this is supposed to be part of a storyline, but in reality, like, if kayfabe were real, like, no one would like the Young Bucks. You know? They're just these two assholes. Like, you lost the match, leave. Typically, when a wrestler loses a match, the winner gets to hang around in the ring for a little bit and celebrate, right? But no, these guys are like, we want to celebrate with you. You did good. Kenny Omega's a little bit, like, put off by it. He's like, you know, like, leave me alone, fam. And Adam Page is, like, just waiting for Kenny Omega to, like, come hang out with him, basically, right? And Kenny Omega's kind of with the Young Bucks. They tease out a moment where Adam Page goes to the outside and he's holding the ropes as if he's going to do, like, a buckshot to, what's it called? To Kenny Omega. But he doesn't do it. They, like, hug it out and leave instead. I like that. I like the way this match was booked. I like the way it ended. It was good. It was a good match. Now, again, I'm sure Dave Meltzer would be like, oh, it was 8 stars. It wasn't 8 stars. But it was a good match. It was a good pay-per-view quality, match. Not like a main event quality, but good enough, you know? Yeah, it wasn't anything that we haven't seen before, but it was a good, actually I shouldn't overrate it. I mean, like, it was good in the sense that Adam Page came up strong and it was booked the way I would have booked it. But beyond that, honestly, like, the match, and also a lot of the things surrounding it, like, the shit announcers just continue to put the Young Bucks over. And like, oh, the Young Bucks are still one of the best tag teams. Are they? Are they really? Because they just lost again to one guy. You know what I mean? And then, like, they continue to suggest that Adam Page is like this little shit instead of, like, putting over the fact that, you know, Adam Page just once again won the match by himself. You know what I mean? Like they didn't really mention that. The announcers didn't say, like, wow, what an awesome performance by Adam Page. No, what they said was like, oh, Young Bucks are still great. Oh, look at Kenny. I don't know. Should he trust him? Should he not? Oh, what's Adam Page thinking? Is he going to betray someone just now? It's fucking stupid, you know? Like, the focus should have been this. Wow, what a hard-fought match. Like, Adam Page once again proves that he can hang with the Young Bucks, beating them both by himself. You know, that should be the emphasis here, you know? So anyways, it is what it is. Then, I mean, what was next? Then we had Nyla versus the Statlander Braun, motherfucks. Now, let's just slow it down here a little bit. The Statlander Braun, in my opinion, has a very unnecessary alien gimmick. The alien gimmick, it adds absolutely zero to her character, and it's preposterously stupid. Like, what are you going to do with this gimmick? Where are you going to go with this? Like, it's not treated like a comedy gimmick, you know? It's not like her doing goofy shit and be like, oh, I'm an alien, you know? Like, she's retarded, but she thinks she's an alien, and she does goofy shit, you know? It's not treated like that. It's treated, like, pseudo-seriously. It's like, oh, just from Andromeda Galaxy. Like, are you fucking insane? Like, what's the point? You know, unless you have another alien character that you can feud with, what's the point? You know? It adds nothing, right? So, Chris Statlander identifies as an alien. Nyla Rose identifies as a woman. So, wait a second. Hold on a second. I just thought of this right now. If Chris Statlander identifies as an alien, how do we know she's a woman? You know what I'm saying? She's an alien, right? She's a different species. Maybe their men look like women. Yeah? Maybe their women look like men. Fuck knows. Point is, they had a match. It was boring. It was botchy. Everyone knew Statlander wasn't going to win. Complete waste of time. I didn't like it at all. This match gets a 1 star from your boy. You know what I mean? Also, Statlander I can't get behind her, man. She's not attractive. I mean, she's not ugly, but she's not, like, super attractive, so I can't get behind her in that scenario. She's not a great wrestler. I know people keep saying she's a great wrestler. I don't see it. I don't think she's a great wrestler at all. She's got a stupid gimmick. I can't really get behind Nyla Rose either, only because, like, I used to think she was good, but I don't think she's that good. Like, she's just, like, botches a lot, you know? I will say, though, I personally am completely over the fact that Nyla Rose is a man or whatever. I couldn't give a shit. Like, the only way I would care about that is if there was, like, some actual implications to this title. It's a complete waste of time. You know, I don't like the title. I don't like any of the people here. Nyla Rose, I mean, she doesn't really bring anything to the table. Like, let's be real, right? That's the problem. I think that's what a lot of people were concerned about. You know, they were like, oh, if you make her character that she's like a trans woman, right? That would be interesting. That would be new. That would be groundbreaking. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, look at this storyline based on real life that we're putting in wrestling, right? Because otherwise, she's just an Awesome Kong. She's the same character as Awesome Kong. And why do we need her when we have Awesome Kong, who's a million times better than her in the ring and like better in every way, in my opinion? So there you have it, motherfucks. I didn't like this match at all. Next, all right. I think we're at the time now, motherfucks. We're at the time for easily the match that we need to talk about the most. Cookie Rhodes versus MJ Cuck. All right. First of all, let's talk about the elephant in this bitch. Right? Cody Rhodes comes out and he has a tattoo now on his neck. The tattoo is the logo of the Nightmare Family. What the fuck is the Nightmare Family? Someone explain it to me once and for all. Is it like, I guess, Cody, Dusty, maybe not Dusty, but Dustin and Brandy and like their friends? Like Arn Anderson and QT Marshall and these jabrones? Is that what the what is the Nightmare Family, man? And why do you need to have the logo tattooed to you? And furthermore, why do you need the logo tattooed on your neck? Now, the hater has a few tattoos of his own, but the hater doesn't think it's a good idea for someone to have a neck tattoo as like your first or second tattoo. You know, I went on some Reddit thing and someone was like, oh, it's actually his third tattoo. He has a Triforce tattooed on his finger. What the fuck are you talking about? How do you know that, you weird fuck? But anyways, that's neither here nor there. The point is, this tattoo is glaring, right? Cody is like a very white guy. He's pale in many ways, and his hair is blonde now, right? So he really like is like a canvas, you know? He really is like very milky, right? So this blotch on his neck really stands out. Really stands out, motherfuckers. And it looks like shit. It looks like garbage. But anyways, the point is, Cody Rhodes comes out with this new tattoo and with about 15 to 16 people with him. This is ridiculous. I'd also like to point out, motherfuckers, that the fact that Cody got this neck tattoo proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that the hater was right all along. Cody Rhodes is all about two things. One, marketing himself by literally putting a logo on his neck. That is so stupid. He put his own logo on his neck. That's retarded, right? And perhaps more importantly, the hater was also right about saying that Cody Rhodes is someone that has so little personality that he continuously tries to do ridiculous things just to put the spotlight on him to pretend that he has some personality. These things include things like bleaching his hair, becoming the throne breaker for about a week and a half, growing out the mustache, neck tattoo, piercing his nose. I mean, this guy, like, who the fuck is this guy, man? Like, this is someone, like, tomorrow, he might just, like, cut his dick off and, you know, identify as a woman and feud for the women's title. Like, this guy is so unpredictable, and not in a cool way, don't get me wrong, right? He's just like, what the fuck is going on, you know? One day he's got a neck tattoo, the next day he's, like, has a mustache. I don't like it, fam, you know? It just shows that he has no personality. You know, my friend texted me, and he showed me a quote, and actually my other friend texted me about this too, and it was from Brandy, right? And the point that both my friends were trying to make was that Brandy doesn't like the tattoo. Like, I give a shit what Brandy thinks about Cookie Rhodes' tattoo. I don't care at all. You know, I think it's stupid. That's all I care about, motherfuckers. But anyways, Brandy said something to the effect of, I wrote it down here. She said, Cookie makes his own decisions, and she hopes that if she does something crazy, this is the best part, motherfuckers. If she does something crazy, he would understand. Now, I don't know about y'all's, but I am interpreting this as she's obviously suggesting that she's getting ready to be spit roasted by John Cena and Roman Reigns WrestleMania weekend, motherfuckers. And Cody better accept it like a cuck. You know what I'm saying? He wears the mark of the cuck on his neck now, so there you have it, motherfuckers. That the fuck does that even mean? She's like, oh, if I do something crazy, he'd understand. What is she gonna do? She's gonna get plowed out by someone else. That's what I'm guessing. You know, and I hope it's the champ. Or Randy Orton or someone like that, you know, like a nice main eventer of WWE. Yeah. But anyways, the match started. MJF is annoying. Like, not annoying like as a good heel, but he is annoying. Like, there's a point where he threw a beer at a fan. Now, if I'm a fan, right, I don't mind a little bit of fan interaction here and there, but it's like, yo, don't get me wet with a beer, man. You know what I mean? Like, number one, you're wasting my beer. And two, like, now I'm going to smell like beer. And I'm going to be wet while watching this. You know, so I find that to be actually very disrespectful. And if you did it to me, I would have to punch him in the face. And if you were to beat my ass, I would sue AEW motherfuckers for assault and battery for throwing a beer at me. But I think I'd have a good shot against MJF. He's like 5'3". Anyways, it is what it is. Beyond that, MJF, I have to give him credit. I have to give MJF some credit, man. Like there was a point where MJF revealed his foot fetish by biting Cody Rhodes' toes, but it was a nice touch. You know what I mean? Like it felt like very heelish, a very old school heelish, right? The match was very boring and slow. Like the people that came with Cody left. The only people left at ringside were Arn Anderson and Brandy Rhodes. At a certain point, Brandy throws a beer at Wardlow, who has done nothing in this match, right? At all. He's just been there the whole time, done nothing. Throws a beer at him. Then she tries to do a crossbody on Wardlow, who catches her in the air and sets her up in the fireman's carry. Cody says, put her down. He does. Cody goes for a bicycle kick. Wardlow moves out of the way. He kicks Arn instead. Right? Match continues. Eventually, MJF is begging for Cody's mercy. Cody picks him up. They're like almost hugging, right? And MJF spits in Cody's face, motherfuckers. Cody Rhodes then proceeds to hit him with 2 crossroads, right? He picks him up with a 3rd crossroads, and MJF counters it. So he no-sells the 2 crossroads. He counters the 3rd one, pulls out his ring from his tights, and punches Cody in the face with the ring, and pins him 1, 2, 3. Now, let's understand this for a second. After all this time, Cody Rhodes got spat on. He was lashed. He was humiliated. He was forced to kick his coach Arn Anderson in the chest. He got a tattoo and his wife is embarrassed about him, right? He's been humiliated several times and now he loses the match, motherfuckers. What was the point of this feud? MJF really did get nothing out of this, right? It was a program, but he doesn't feel like a main eventer yet, you know? So, and also showing again that Cody had a personality. At a certain point, Cody did like a Randy Orton pose and then tried to do the Randy Orton draping DDT thing that Orton does, which Michael Cole calls vintage. When Orton does that, Michael Cole is like, vintage Orton. So I'm going to say vintage cuck. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was the match. Nothing too special. Honestly, if I'm being honest, like if you consider the fact that the build for this match was actually quite lengthy and relatively well thought out, I'd say this match was a complete failure, you know, because it didn't live up to the hype. It wasn't the epic match that you would expect, you know. It didn't feel like a pay-per-view match, more importantly. Next up, we had Neville versus Orange Cassady. I mean, I have to say it, but I'll get to it, I guess, later. But anyways, the match starts. The announcers first justify the fact that Neville has like 5 wins and 4 losses, right? Because when the wrestlers come out, it shows their win-loss record. And I remember the announcers being like, don't let the record fool you. Like, Neville's one of the best ones. What do you mean, don't let the record fool you? Either you have a record and it does the job it's supposed to do. Let me know someone's abilities based on a win-loss record, right? Or we have to ignore records. Make up your minds, man. But anyways, Orange Cassady comes out and he's like 1-2, so he's an even bigger jobber, right? I hate to say it, motherfuckers. I hate to say it. Tony Schiavone said he identifies with Cassidy because sometimes Tony Schiavone also doesn't give a rat's ass. I mean, that's just a stupid thing to say. But the realities are what they are, motherfuckers. The people are behind Orange Cassady. Now, I understand the people are a bunch of beards. I get that. But despite that, they are behind Orange Cassady. The fans like Orange Cassady. Do you understand what I'm saying? They like him, cucks. They like him. So, again, I'm going to use this opportunity to explain that even though this is not funny at all, right? Orange Cassady is not funny. It proves, once again, that the hater was right. Because it proves that wrestling is not about the matches, right? Orange Cassady got, I think, the best reactions the whole night. And it wasn't because of his wrestling. It was because of his character work. I mean, the character is stupid, but nonetheless, he plays a character, and people like the character, right? So, this match was a bunch of nonsense. It was just Orange Cassady, like, not pretending not to care, and then wrestling by doing, like, a few, like, short bursts of moves that were actually quite impressive, you know? The highlight of the match for me was there's a point where one of the announcers, I think Excalibur, he says something like, Pac is from England, but if I had to guess what town he's from, I would say he's from Malice, England. Right? And I was like, okay, that's fucking stupid. And then JR says, I knew a girl named Alice from Malice, and she was mean. And at this point, I think this line, in and of itself, justifies releasing JR. That was just the cringiest line ever. I knew a girl named Alice. I think she was from Malice. I'm going to mention this at the end of the video again, I think. Yeah, the Lucha Bros come out, and they attack the best friends who are at ringside with Orange Cassady. This added nothing to the match. Like, what the fuck was the point? You know what I mean? Like, first of all, why are they attacking the best friends? And two, why are you doing this, right? Like, why are you protecting Orange Cassady? This distracts Orange Cassady enough. He turns around. Neville hits the brutalizer and makes him tap out and then doesn't let go and makes him pass out, cucks. Now, I don't know what to say about this, man. I mean, there were parts of the match that were exciting, but it's too jobbery. It's too, like, the character work is too gimmicky and too jobbery. And JR told us in the end that this was entertaining. Thanks, JR. I don't agree. Cuck. Then we have Ambrose versus Jericho. Oh, I completely forgot it. Just keep it in mind right now. There was a point in the MJF versus, Cody Rhodes match where MJF tried to hit Cody Rhodes with a weight belt, and the ref pulls it away from MJF. Moments later, Cody Rhodes hits him once with the belt. The referee tolerates it, and then he says, I'm going to hit him one more time. And the ref is like, all right, go ahead. And he lets Cody hit him twice. So what the fuck kind of bullshit is that? It's supposed to have a real sports feel, I thought. The referee just lets one person break the rule, but not the other? So, I don't know. That was really dumb. Finally, to put us out of our misery, we have Ambrose versus Jericho. JR calls it the biggest match in Moxley's life. Now, that's the most ridiculous thing I've heard in my life. Jon Moxley fought Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I believe Jon Moxley fought Triple H at Royal Rumble. Jon Moxley fought Roman Reigns at Survivor Series for the vacant WWE Championship. And Jon Moxley fought Rollins and Reigns in a triple threat for the World Championship. He also won the World Championship by cashing in his Money in the Bank. He also had a feud for the U.S. title with Kofi Kingston. All of these are more important career moments than this one. All of them, literally 100% of them, are more important. But JR wants to put it over. Didn't really work. It was what it was. This match was exactly what you'd expect. All the inner circle came out and interfered. Jericho, when he entered the ring, a choir sang Judas for him. This was kind of cool in the sense that the lead singer of the choir was like an awesome singer. I don't know why they didn't have her sing the national anthem. She was great, right? They sang a cappella, and it was tight. But Jericho didn't come out while they were singing. They just sang for no reason. Then the song started playing, and Jericho came out normally. That was really stupid. They missed an opportunity there, but whatever. It is what it is, right? Yeah, there we have it, He just came out with Out and Proud, but the other people came in to interfere later. JR says that Aubrey calls it by the book. At a certain point in the match, JR was like, oh, Aubrey calls it by the book. And moments after JR says this, you see clearly, and she sees clearly, and you see her seeing clearly, Jack Swagger hitting Ambrose, right? So instead of DQing Jericho, she just kicks them out of ringside. At a certain point, Sammy Guevara comes in, hits Moxley with the title belt, but Moxley kicks out. Ambrose then reveals that he could see all along and takes off the eye patch, hits the paradigm shift lifting version, and pins Jericho. Now, new champion, motherfuckers. New champion. Now, this was atrocious. Here's why. I'll explain it very, very quickly, right? Dean Ambrose is now the main champion of AEW. In New Japan Pro Wrestling, the main champion, as well as the Intercontinental Champion, is a guy called Tetsuya Naito, who's about 5'8" and probably 230 pounds and kind of chunky, right? In that same company, Dean Ambrose is the U.S. champion. Now, the U.S. title in New Japan is like probably the 5th most prestigious title. You have the world title, the Intercontinental title, right? Then I say you would have to have the tag titles, right? Then the junior heavyweight title. Then I would say the junior heavyweight tag titles, but you know, and then the neverweight title, and then somewhere after that you have the U.S. title, right? No one cares about the U.S. title there, right? It's basically like the title that not Japanese people compete for. You know, it's just like something to give them. It's like the European Championship. It's like that level. So now the guy who is the 5th most important champion in New Japan is now the number 1 most important champion in AEW. What this means is if Jon Moxley were to wrestle the champion, Tetsuya Naito should have no problem beating him, right? It would be like Stone Cold wrestling William Regal, and Regal was like the European champ, right? Stone Cold would win. So that's the problem here, motherfuckers. They equate their best guy to the level of a mid-carder in New Japan. And anyone from WWE who is a mid-carder would be a megastar in Japan. So there you have it, cucks. This is just AEW burying AEW. So with that being said, motherfuckers, what do we have to look forward to? Well, I tell you, we have this Wednesday, AEW Dynamite. That's going to be fun. And tonight, we have WWE Monday Night Raw, motherfuckers. Which, of course, means we also have the haters' review of Monday Night Raw. And there's still a 25 Reasons video that I have to make. I don't know when I'll make that. But yeah. And it's going to come down to that, motherfuckers. I'm going to do those videos. I'm going to watch Randy Orton either attack Beth Phoenix today or have Edge save her. It's going to be a good time. So, yeah. Look forward to more videos from the hater. We keep growing, motherfuckers. We keep growing in this bitch. All right, see ya. Also, let's not forget, motherfucks. I knew a girl named Alice once who was from Malice, and she was mean. That's a shitty little nursery rhyme, JR. Here's a better one. It goes a little something like this. Hickory Dickory Dock, some girl was sucking my cock. The clock struck 2. I dumped my goo. I dropped the bitch on the next block. Bada boom. You know what I'm saying, my face? All right, motherfuckers. All right, I guess fine. I'll do one more nursery rhyme. One more nursery rhyme in this bitch. And it goes a little something like this. Little Bo Beep fucked a sheep. Blew a horse, licked its feet. She tongued his ass so very nice. Licked his balls not once, but twice. All right, motherfuckers. See you later, bitches.